Hello everybody, Qzilla here. Welcome back to another episode of Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. In the last episode, we defeated the final 3 title update monsters that we will be fighting, those being Dread King Rathian, Silver Rathalos, and Gold Rathian. And no, I am not interested in fighting Cold Taroth. Anywho, in today's episode, we're going to be starting the Elder's Lair. So, once you complete the main game, Chief Gara? Yeah, Chief Gara will move over to the Forbidden Grounds altar. So you'll want to head over there. Ideally, you've got the caravan stand. Also, off screen, I did a ton of grinding and also had to grapple a bunch with, for whatever reason, Capcom deciding my game shall not save. So yeah, I had to deal with a bunch of fixes for that. But yeah, grinding took a while. I got a bunch of max level gear. So you came, Qzilla. Through here is the entrance to the Elder's Lair. Red is the only one to have ever stepped foot beyond this point. Nobody knows what lies in wait for you inside. Knowing that, will you still proceed into the Elder's Lair? Absolutely. Then go. See for yourself what this place holds. Alright. So, the Elder's Lair. Now, as you can see, we're in Elder's Lair Z1. There's a caravan stand right here. And we'll have to talk with this feline. Well, bless my tail and whiskers. You smell just like our esteemed Meowster. Perhaps you know him? I see. It would appear more time has passed since he left this place than I previously thought. This is a land forbidden to your people. In the final zone awaits a Meowster with power that transcends reason. Only those who have passed the necessary trials may walk beyond this point. That was the promise I made him. First zone trial. Slay the target Meowsters. If you wish to proceed to the next zone, you must prove you're capable. Looks like we're not getting any farther unless we take on the challenge. That's no big deal, right, partner? Well put, Naviru. Alright, so, the Elder's Lair. This is essentially Stories' answer to... well, Stories 2's answer to the Tower of Illusion. I guess it's an area of 10 zones, each of which having their own trials that you must pass in order to proceed. Each of them will require you to do different things, some of them having their own gimmicks. The first one is relatively simple. You just have to defeat the specified monsters. The first monster we're up against is high-rank Duramboros. Now, I did do a ton of grinding and fought a bunch of, I fought practically everything off-screen, at least that I could find, but don't be surprised if, I couldn't find some, because some of them are exclusive to this place. They cannot be found within reason elsewhere. So, Duramboros, in case you don't remember, by default uses power attacks, but when enraged it will use tech attacks. By default, it is weak to blunt damage, same with its body and tail, but its legs are weak to slash, and it has an elemental weakness to fire. Now the Elder's Lair, for the most part, will have most of the high-rank Monsterpedia. Some of them will still be missing, and that was what I did a bunch of trying to find. I spent a bunch of time just trying to find everything that I could. So for example, Aptonoth, Astalos, and Popo are not found in this place. Instead you have to search for them in high-rank dens all across the world. I think it's the same thing with the Slag Tall. I don't remember exactly. Alright. Also, so after you complete the normal Elder's Lair, there is the special Elder's Lair, but I'm not going to be going through that since it's basically just a repeat of the Elder's Lair, but with the monsters having higher stats and better XP yield. Basically, it's like a taste of G rank, but nothing has really changed. Alright, so our next battle is going to be up against a Mizutsune. Now, if I recall correctly, Mizutsune is weak to Thunder. Yes, it is. So I'm gonna change my equipment real quickly. So yeah, just... Like I said, I spent a bunch of time off screen just grinding up everything that I needed. Alright, so Mizutsune. By default, it will use tech attacks, but when enraged, it will use speed attacks. By default, it is weak to slash and blunt, as are its body and legs, but the tail is weak to only pierce. Now, the equipment that I went with is meant to be the best equipment for each element. Or, yeah, the best gear for each element. Roberto, you're an idiot. And I also brought Roberto along because he's basically our damage. So, he's going to be useful. But there will be a floor or two where we have to go with another battle buddy. So we win that breath flash like normal. So okay, so now that it's enraged, I'm gonna swap over to my hammer actually. Guide for the lair itself. Okay. So, like I said, the Elder's Lair, or at least the first floor, or zone of the Elder's Lair, is meant to be a quick introduction and warm-up. So it's not going to have too much trouble. But, like I said, it's still going to be quite interesting as we get through the later floors. Not to mention, each floor will have its own unique enemies, and some high-rank monsters can only be found in the Elder's Lair. So, for example, the Mega Barrel Feline, which I am not going to be hunting for, so that can only be found in the Elder's Lair on any of the floors. And the Mega Barrel Feline is basically the high-rank version of the Barrel Feline. But, okay, so, this fight right here, this is a duo fight, basically. Where we are up against a combo of Azure Rathalos and Pink Rathian. So, what we are going to do is we are going to be taking them on to the best of our ability. So they're both weak to Dragon, Azure Rathalos using power first and then speed when flying, with the head being weak to blunt, body being weak to slash and blunt, and the tail end being weak to slash only. Pink Rathian starts with speed and uses power when enraged. And her body is weak to slash, while her tail is weak to blunt. I'm gonna do that. Actually, no. I'm gonna have you. So yeah, I'm gonna take out the Azure Rathalos first, and Then I'm gonna aim for the pink Rathian. But many of these monsters can be found outside of the Elder's Lair. So I spent a couple nights just flat out grinding to get as much as I could. So we're gonna win this aerial showdown. Show why our Deviant is the king of the skies. Now, ordinarily, I would be using a Stygian Zinogre, but due to the fact that it does not have, well, due to the fact that the dragon does not have a speed move, it's a little annoying. So, I'm gonna attack the wings for you. So yeah, as you can see, we're taking very little damage. Okay, so we took out the Azure Wrath. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring in you. Also, a good chunk of what I was grinding up was calling up healing items. Like, it was just constant Monty expedition, and constantly just going into dens, looting the treasure chest, and then just leaving. Like, you would not believe the amount of treasure chests I had to loot. So I'm gonna ride. And then I think Voltage Crash should finish the job? Never mind, it did not. Okay, but we can just do this. And we've won. Alright. So, that leaves us with only 2 more monsters to fight. So let's see, where could they be? So one is here and one is here. Also, it's worth mentioning that you're going to have to go through both the normal Elder's Lair and the special Elder's Lair in order to get all of the Catavan stands. It's very annoying, but oh well. But since I'm not going to show off the special Elder's Lair, I'll just let you guys figure that out for yourself. It's also worth mentioning that the special Elder's Lair is basically the only place where you can really grind to get up to level 99 once you unlock it. Alright, so over there is our next fight, the Ivory Lagiacrus. Now, it's also weak to dragon, thankfully. We should probably heal up, actually. Alright, so by default, it will use speed attacks. When enraged, it uses power, and when electrified, it uses action. Its body is weak to blunt only, and it is only weak to blunt only by default. Its tail is weak to pierce only, and its back is weak to slash only. I think the back only appears when it's electrified. That's what I'm trying to say. So since it's weak to dragon, we can bring out our Stygian and just ideally combo a bunch. But of course, Birdo, being the fool he is, I really wish you could control like what your battle buddy actually needs. Like that way, it would be so much easier to win head-to-head with them. Because otherwise, I'm a little tempted to just ignore it. Again, no speed moves, so it's whatever. Alright, Dragon Surge. Okay, we're gonna win this Breath Blast. So what we can do now is we can ride. just attack it multiple times. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna also voltage crash. Alright, and that finishes the fight. There's only one more monster. So let's see, where will it be on the map? Okay, so it's right there. So yeah, the first floor of the, or the first zone of the Elder's Lair, I should say, will just typically be the usual, well, it's just a typical, slay X monsters. But, like I said before, there are a bunch of, that was close. Yeah, there's a bunch of different, objectives as we go deeper inside the Elder's Lair. Okay, so there's the last one we need, Astalos. If you see me pausing at all, it's just because I'm switching, or I'm swapping equipment and healing up. I don't really think it should be in the video, admittedly. It's just kind of filler. But Astalos, like, by default, it will use attack attacks when enraged, or electrified, it uses power, and when flying, it uses speed. By default, it is weak to slash and blunt. Its stomach is also weak to slash and blunt, and are tail and wings. But the head is weak to blunt only. And it's got an elemental weakness to ice, so you'll want to bust out your ice weapons and gear. Alright, we won the breath blast like usual. Yeah, some monsters, if you don't want to touch any of the online quests, can only be found in the Elder's Lair. Or very rarely out in the wild. Okay, so Roberto and I will target the wings. So yeah, if you destroy an Astalos' wings, they'll knock him down. I am actually gonna just use the kinship skill to finish this fight.
You riders have some epic moves.
Why, thank you, Roberto. Alright. Also, node dens should be appearing in the Elder's Lair. This is basically just a place for you to farm materials. We did it, partner! We thought there'd be so many huge monsters here. Wonder what kind of trials we'll face next. Only one way to find out, huh? Let's report back to that feline. Return to the Zone 1 Watchpaw? Sure. So whenever you finally finished a trial, you'll be given the option to just return to the Watchpaw immediately. You took down all those Meowsters? My, you must be a descendant of our esteemed Meowster. You got that right. My partner's power of kinship is second to none. Take on any trial you throw at us. 8 trials remain. Show your battle prowess and aim for the final zone. We are now allowed to go through. So, that's going to be it for this episode. I'm going to be doing a video on each of the different floors of the Elder's Lair. So, I'll see all of you on the next zone. Goodbye!